Hello everyone, welcome to Res Snapper. My name's MJ and this is Snap or Pass, where we look at the new cards coming to Marvel Snap. And this time we've got another new Seasonal Series 4 card in Omega Sentinel. She's a 4/3, activate, afflict the highest power enemy card with -7 power. In this video we're going to talk about how you can get all of the mechanics, all of the things that you would expect. You can use the chapters below if you want to skip forward to a specific section, but true legends watch the whole thing. How bloody are you, to be honest? Oh sheesh, I forgot. I don't have a bio for her. Hang on, let me ask Gemini. Omega Sentinel is a cyborg who was once a mutant hunting agent of the anti-mutant organisation, the Sentinels. That's what AI says. I mean, that's not very expansive or interesting, but I guess that's the biography that we've got for today, guys. I do want to say one thing about the variants that we're getting this season. This applies to literally all the cards, right? They're doing this weird sort of sub-theme of cyberpunk variants. So the designs for these cyberpunk variants, as you can see the special variant that's on the screen here, they're kind of like, definitely they're using like a cyberpunk inspired like a theme that seems to have been designed for Snap. So if you want like the classic look of the character, I guess you want the base art, and then hopefully in future we'll get some more versions of that base art. Anyway, so yeah, you can buy her outright for 3,000 tokens if you want her, or you can open a Seasonal Series 4 Snap Pack, which could also contain the cards from the last few seasons, and also the other Seasonal Series 4 card that's releasing at the same time, which is awesome, Andy. Okay guys, let's talk about Omega Sentinel. Very interesting card. So I think the archetypes she's going to fit into include Affliction decks, obviously, Transform decks, because we'll talk about how much power is in this activate ability, Cerebro decks might like her as well, Set Power decks may be interested in her too, and Clog decks. Most of these are for obvious reasons, but let's break down some of those reasons right now. So the value in the card is in the activate effect, not in the power. She's a 4 cost and 3 power card, so no one is excited to be playing that lower power for that cost. But that means you can do special things to manipulate that cost, and it's good and everything, isn't it? So she targets your opponent's highest power card, so it may not be at the same location. That's really crucial, and in fact in many cases you wouldn't even want it to be at the same location, because ideally you're doing something with Omega Sentinel's body after you've used the activate effect. It could be like destroying it to add power to something else. It could be transforming it. That's something that I think is going to be really key. Or I mean, send it across to your opponent's side if you have to be perfectly blank and frank and honest with you. And she synergizes well with a future activate strategy that Jocasta will enable. Jocasta is a 3/3 that immediately activates an activate card without using up their activate. So if you play this with Jocasta, you're getting like double dip on that 7, which is 14 power, super strong. And also that is likely going to hit 2 different cards because you activate the first time and it hits their highest power card. It's likely that their highest power card will not be that one that you just hit. So yeah, double vibes, guys. And what if there are 2 cards with the same highest power? Is she going to reduce and afflict both of those cards, or just one of them? Now, Doctor Strange, in his ability, he says that he moves the highest power cards with S in brackets. Omega Sentinel doesn't say this, so it is probably just going to hit like the one that was first played by your opponent. Anyway, so pros about the card. You can hold off on activating until the end of the game, which may be very difficult for your opponent to have to consider, because they're going, okay, where am I going to play my highest power card? Wherever I play it, it is getting 7 less power. And that makes things so difficult for them to actually strategize and figure out where they need to play. Really tough stuff, especially for like a mid-range deck as well. That 7 power can have a huge effect on their on there. Why don't I know how to end this sentence? You paint by numbers, you do it. And extract the value from the activate ability and then discard the husk. That is my advice for this card. So for example, I'm going to be playing her up the wazoo with Cersei. My girl Cersei, who is just the most spiteful little wench to me. Let me be utterly clear, right? If I am playing Cersei on top of a 3-cost card, oh, it's becoming Misery and destroying everything else there. Like 100%. 100%. If I'm transforming a 1-cost card, oh, Carnage is coming. Carnage is absolutely guaranteed coming. And if I'm evolving a 2-cost card, oh, 100% it's going to be Deathlock. So Cersei will always find a way to screw me. I'm actually falling out of love with her because she always does. Anyway, cons. So she's low tempo. Obviously, she is a 4-3. Now, that being said, when you activate her ability, it probably becomes high tempo because it's kind of like a 4-10 in value, isn't it? Drawn late, it's a dead draw, as we always say with activate cards. This more than any, because it's literally a 4-cost card for 3 power, which if you draw it on turn like 5, yeah, of course you can still play it, but turn 6, if you draw this, you're basically almost never playing it. And what if they play their highest power card where you play your highest power card? You're already investing in trying to win that location, but you're knocking down 7 power for this, so it kind of wastes your ability a little bit. So that might be a way to play around Omega Sentinel. And imbalance loss matrix. Do I even know what I mean? Absolutely not. Do you know what I mean by that? Imbalance loss matrix. What I'm trying to say is that she afflicts something with 7 power, and yeah, but she might be at a different location, and it's all just it's almost like don't play this card. It's actually too confusing for everyone involved. You might as well just not play it. Just ask for a quiet life. Don't play it. So the counters against the card. Red Guardian can feasibly target her, so I would definitely play Omega Sentinel into a location where you've got a lower power card, just for the absolute insurance of it. Also, Lady Deathstrike can counter it as well. I didn't put Lady Deathstrike on here, but Lady Deathstrike could be just disastrous. Luke Cage is an absolutely huge one. Luke Cage costs 3 and literally just going to reverse the -7 that Omega Sentinel inflicts. Super Adaptoid. I have to mention Super Adaptoid, even though they're not out for practically a month. I really do have to mention them because they're an on-reveal. Steal the text from an enemy activate card here. And if they can steal, Omega Sentinel is a low tempo play. They might have priority. If they can steal that activate ability from you, that is just unbelievably bad. And then Cosmic Ghost Rider as well. If Omega Sentinel happens to be in the front row, Cosmic Ghost Rider is going to slurp her up. Synergies though, as we've said before, the transform guys, so Cersei and Merlin are both really good ones. But how about Valkyrie as well? Valkyrie is a fantastic one for a couple of reasons, because not only do you play Omega Sentinel and just whatever other filth that you want to in one location, to then at the game you Valkyrie that location and then you activate Omega Sentinel, and so they might have actually had their highest power card in the location that you're planning to play Valkyrie, which is also the Omega Sentinel location. You Valkyrie, you take their power down to 3, and then when you activate Omega Sentinel, that -7 is actually going to hit another location, presumably, because that's where they've got their now highest power card. So yeah, absolutely devilish combination. But as I said, really crucial. You do really want to transform Omega Sentinel after you've activated them as well. So there's that option too. But yeah, very nice stuff. Very cool. So let's talk about the decks. The first one I've got for you is called Brain Chunder, because we're just throwing everything out. This is a Cerebro deck. It is a budget deck. It is a bit tricky to create budget decks, by the way, guys, in this day and age. So many new cards coming out. So many Series 5s. It's hard to even avoid lots of Series 4 cards in these decks sometimes. But like I say, this is a Cerebro deck. Now, I am by no means a Cerebro player. Probably the worst Cerebro player in the world. So maybe just go and watch Dexter's stream for a better Cerebro 3 deck, which I'm sure he'll be doing when Omega Sentinel comes out, so very soon. But anyway, you've got your tools to tackle locations. So you've got Scarlet Witch and Luke Cage here. Daredevil can help out a little bit because it can help you figure out where to play either a Negasonic or where to line up some cards for the Valkyrie play. You've got US Agent, so that's got good synergy with Luke Cage. you got your normal obvious Cerebro stuff in here. You got Cosmo for a bit of disruption as well, and Killmonger because we were actually playing no 1-cost cards in here. Yeah, fine. And then Sentinel helps to replenish your hand. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? And then the next deck we've got is something that I'm much more familiar with. This is a Transform deck. So this is classic Transform vibes. We have got a bit of Annihilus in here as well in case we don't transform, because we've got Hood, we've got Sentry. We want to send all of these things across. So I either send them across with Annihilus or we transform them with Cersei. Of course, we've also got the Omega Sentinel here as well. And do you want to play Omega Sentinel on the right so that on the final turn, or towards the end of the game at least, you are doing like your Sentry and then Omega Sentinel, and then you... Oh God, just... Yeah, that is just tricky if they do play the highest power card on the right, because you're sort of overcooking it. But hopefully you can... do you want to almost put Juggernaut or something? How do you move the highest power card they've got? That's what you want to do. Anyway, the rest of this is kind of self-explanatory. You've got more Transform vibes with Merlin, more Afflict vibes with Lasher and Red Guardian, and you stop him from doing things with Spider-Ham. You've also got Makari in here as well, who can be a good Transform target. But overall, what are my star ratings? I do actually think she's weirdly good. I've given her 3.5 stars. I do think her stats are like a big sticking point, and she does have those big counters. She's kind of fragile. But that's... I mean... She is kind of like a 410. She's kind of a 410 with the upside of working really well with cards like Valkyrie and Cersei, and so just that ability to transform her. You know, Merlin is a really good card. Cersei's absolutely sketchy. I love her, but she's so bloody sketchy. As I said, she will just do anything to fuck me, guys. Not, you know, to screw me over, I mean, to say. She's a fictional character for a start, so... But I'm not saying that's the only hurdle to overcome, but it's a prominent one. Good. Anyway, yeah, I think she's good. 3.5. You can activate her and then transform her or do something with her. Even blink her out, right? You can play her, activate her, and then play blink. That could be really good. Yada, yada, yada. Didn't even say about that one. Like, negative, Mr. Negative. She could feasibly fit in a Mr. Negative deck, although you're typically dumping Mr. Negative cards on the end of the game. I'm getting sidetracked now. From a fun perspective, I think she's fine. 3 stars. Archetype, 3 stars. I'm not sure if she's necessarily crucial to anything. I think she's just a nice piece to have in your collection. And then from a competitive standpoint, I'm not sure we'll see that much of her just yet. I could see more when Jocasta comes out, because it is a very powerful activate ability. It's actually one of the more powerful activate abilities in the game. So yeah, keep your eye on Jocasta when she comes out. So whilst I like her, whilst I think she's cool, I would say she's a pass, because she's not like super busted, she's not broken, and she's not mind-blowing, in my humble opinion anyway. You may of course have different thoughts. Whilst I quite like her, it's sort of bred from the fact that I love Cersei. Cersei is one of my favourite cards. And there's definitely stuff that you can do with her. As we said, the blink stuff is kind of cute, kind of fun. But I think for now, there's probably better cards. Like, this card isn't broken, it's not busted. It's fine. I think I'm probably going to be skipping a lot of this season, to be honest, guys, because I think the zombie season looks pretty interesting, especially with the brand new mechanic of the zombie stuff. If you've not seen it, check out my leaks video. But then after that, we've got Spider-Man season, which whilst we don't know the abilities for, I love all the characters, so I'll probably be getting the whole thing. So this might be a bit of a low, a bit of a skippy sort of season for me, guys. Anyway, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. What do you think of this card? Let me know in the comments below, and I'll see you next time. Cheers.
No, it's actually printed on there. That's quite good. It actually looks quite good when it's... Yeah, it does actually look quite good with the moulded in face there. Mine's melting, so...
Don't do that.